Welcome back to the Broken Amp. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. I have OG punk rockers, the Krack. Guys, what is going on?
How you doing,
How you
Bill?
doing, brother?
Doing good, doing good, doing good. How about you?
Yeah, just out here in sunny California, trying to stay cool, getting ready to hit the studio again. Every Sunday, we're out here recording and writing new music. So this
That's
is our day.
perfect.
So we're happy to have an opportunity to be on your show.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and thanks for joining. I feel like we do have a lot to talk about. Before we dive into it, I was just hoping you both could take a moment to just introduce yourself and let us know what your role is in the band.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Joel Miller, lead singer or one of the lead singers. We're a dual singer band, so we both have our set of songs and we have been in this band. This is called the Krack. We're from the Krack, but originated with the Wisecrack. Or Wisecrack was our band coming out of high school and doing our thing in the late '90s in the SoCal punk rock scene. So yeah, I play guitar and some lead, and we kind of just trade off. And I'll let Garrett introduce himself.
Nice.
Yeah, my name's Garrett Donahoe. Yeah, our band is called The Krack. We've been playing together for many years. I'm a songwriter, singer, guitar player. Uh, yeah, that's what we do. We get together and create really cool songs.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
love it. And you mentioned that you guys been around for a long time. I feel like we have a lot to talk about because you guys been really going at this since the mid 90s. And here we are 30 years later. I feel like you guys are still going strong. So if you wouldn't mind, you just let me know, just tell me a little bit about your origin, how you formed, how you got your start in music, and just what your journeys look like.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna turn this air conditioner off. I
Yeah,
don't want
go for
to,
it.
it
Go
seems
for it.
like a little bit loud for me to hear you. And that those interviews where you can't hear anything, and it's like the
Sure,
most epic
sure.
interview ever.
Yeah, no problem.
Um, yeah, so a little bit like I'll just kind of share, at least my war story. And Garrick's is just like you see us sitting next to each other. We're sitting next to each other in Spanish class, and I was in 10th grade. I think Garrick was ninth grade, and I remember I'd been messing around with some band, just trying to figure out how to be in a band, and there
Hmm.
wasn't anything really happening. I'm just sitting there figuring out a couple chords that I figured out from maybe the Guitar Magazine, on a Nirvana song or a Metallica song or whatever. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure things out, and um, I just started making a logo and started advertising myself, and like I was already like ready to, represent before we could even finish a full song. And I remember Garrick and our drummer at the time, Randy Costello, were in the class, and I didn't really know them, but I remember Garrick just kind of like did one of those. It was like the scenes, like of the movies, like maybe Napoleon Dynamite or something, just in the classroom, and like, "What's up, dude? Like, you're in a band?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." Like, whatever, kind of. And he's like, "Yeah, you want to jam?" Like one of those, like young kids, just like
Yeah.
almost like, "What's up? You think you're badass? You want to be in a band or something?" Like one of those
Yeah.
things. I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I remember showing up. Like I brought my bass player with us, and his name was Adam Buckbinder at the time, and he's just this like older guy, a senior, so he's a little older than us, and he had a truck, so I could get a ride over to his house. And I don't know, remember how Garrick and Randy got there, but showed up, and Garrick's got like full songs, like sounding like Green Day at like 14 years old.
Nice.
Like no joke, like full songs, like intros, choruses, a story, like a really good. I was like in my head, like I didn't know what to think except for hell yeah, this is badass. Like I'm already thinking because I've always been a marketing like go getter. I'm
Hmm.
already in my head like, dude, our first show is gonna be sick, like immediately, and I know where that show is gonna be in the dirt out in Temecula. It's either dirt parties, um, like later on in life, we ended up playing down the freeway. The only place was the Showcase Theater. I think Garrick just started making phone calls, but that was a little bit later. Like we started right away. He's like, "Yeah, let's go record a demo." So we shoot out to Randy's uncle's house, Big Randy, and that's in Garden Grove, California. And like I hadn't been back there since we moved from Long Beach, so I was stoked to go back to the old hood because that's kind of like we moved out to the country. Temecula's like country, and then we're east of like all of where the city is.
Okay.
And so we end up in Garden Grove, and like the guy's got a tape deck, like the old Tascam tape deck, and he's just like, "All right, guys, let's do this." And like, he's kind of a cool uncle at the time, just like excited for some kids to be doing some punk rock or whatever, just
Yeah.
supporting us. For you know what, we've got a demo in one day. You could barely hear the guitars; it just sounded like there was some bass in there, but there was a song, and we've got demos, and Garrett could probably correct me on some stuff on like the order of how things went. But before you know it, we've got our own tape, at the time, a tape.
Hmm.
So back then, not even CDs yet.
Sure.
So we're OG at that time. And we're at Kinko's Coffee making our own album covers with the glue sticks and cutting things out of the magazine. And I remember Randy was real creative, so he's cutting out cool images. And we're at Kinko's Coffee. I don't know if you remember Kinko's Coffee, but
Oh yeah.
basically
Yeah.
the coffee center. That was your Photoshop.
Sure.
That was where you got down if you wanted to make a business. Finding a way to make a sticker out of like whatever type of material they had, slapping it up on the school, dropping our tapes. I mean, we literally were dropping, like we dropped what, like 4 or 5 tapes, like albums, like worth of music by the time before the end of the year. Like 96, I believe it's 95 or 96. Like I'm in 10th grade. By the time we're out of 11th grade and he was in the 10th grade, we had a fan base. I mean, kids are hearing our stuff, our friends, they're like becoming hardcore crew members, like showing
Sure.
up. Garrick's calling the Showcase Theater. At the time, Garrick's living with me. So we're like in my bedroom just writing, just how we're doing now. Like we're just writing. Like Garrick's just coming out with music. And I still hadn't really figured out my songwriting abilities yet. But I'm like, dude, I'm a partner in crime, so
Yeah.
I'm that guy on the side just singing those backup vocals, and of course our only influence at that time, or the only guys doing it, was Green Day at that time.
Sure.
I mean, doing it, and then there was the No Effects and the Lagwagons and the Fat Records world, but
Hmm.
SoCal punk rock was still like it was like birthing at that
Yeah.
time. So that's how we end up on stage with Blink, and that was a little bit later. Like we put in time, it was like Guitar Hero, literally. Like if you play Guitar Hero and you start at the bottom and you're in the dive bar
Yeah.
and you're hitting the wrong chords and you're just like, what I mean? It's like crank, 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 and like we're up there just like doing our thing. And I don't want to be long winded, but I'm trying to like get all these pieces, and then a couple friends start really paying attention. They're showing up now, supporting us, and we're playing with like our first show was with the Swinging Utters. We did not belong there. I mean, it's just punk rock to the core, like real punks,
Sure.
mohawks, razor blades on the boots. Like we're playing with Di, China White, like. But Garrick's like making a phone call, like, "Hey, we need a gig. We need a gig." Like calling Ezat. Ezat's a famous, show manager, or he owned the Showcase Theater, and Ezat just like was all right, like letting us in. And thinking about it now, as little kids, I could tell like he's probably like these little kids, like I gotta help them.
Yeah. That's great.
I think our drummer was 14 or 13 when we first started. Like we were babies.
Hmm.
So we're doing our thing, and music's starting to get tight, and we're on like our third or fourth tape, and things are starting to really sound there. Like we're not messing around anymore. Like the stuff is catching people's ears.
Yeah.
And my friend Dylan Patton at the time, he just like made a phone call. Like he just, Blink was coming to town again. I think Garrick. I remember Garrick came back from a Blink concert. He's like, dude, there's this band that just like pretty much they're just now like showing up in our neck of the woods. They're from San
Hmm.
Diego and Poway. And I remember him coming home. I think you had Cheshire Cat CD with you. Like
Yeah, that was a big influence.
yeah.
for the beginning of the punk rock thing was Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like came home and I remember I wasn't allowed to go. I think he went with our friend Anthony or something, and you know, Garrick was cruising, hitting shows. Like, you know, Garrick's always been just like, in my opinion, ahead of the curve because when he brought that stuff home, it was cool. Like Cheshire Cat, hey, no offense, Tom, Mark, Travis, we never got to meet you, but we were doing that already.
Sure.
We were literally sounding like Blink. We never heard Blink
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
kids. It's just the whole vibe in this world, in this part of the world. You know, we were just catching. Like we just got off the phone with the manager, and he was just telling us, "Oh, your new stuff's reminding me of The Cure. You must have been influenced." And like first thing out Garrick's mouth and mine too. We don't listen to music. We don't have influences. Like we create.
Just
And
straight from the heart.
yeah, if it reminds you of something cool, you know, I've been told that about like I've also been in other projects, and they said, "You ever heard of Thrice?" It was more of a metal stuff, like through the 2000s and whatever. No, I never heard of them in my life. But if that's what it reminds you of, that's what it sounds like. Cool. So, anyways, we're with Garrett brings back Cheshire Cat, and he's like, "Dude," and I know he was pumped, and I was just like, "Cool, like we should get a show with them too," you
Yeah.
know. And so Dylan Patton calls down. They're back in town, and October 6th. I think it's on our Instagram. And he's begging Ease at the showcase, "You gotta let my buddies on." And God bless Dylan, because he was also 16. He was like a show promoter at 16, talking to adults.
Dang.
Like how, you know, these guys that run the big shows now, Coachella, or when they were young, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he's on the big shot, the guys, and Blink was no joke at that point. They were doing their thing. You know, they just started breaking in Tokyo and all, you know, like they were breaking. They were definitely moving and shaking.
Sure. Sure.
But it was still new. The Izaz just said, "All right, you know, he's from Saudi Arabia. I'm going to let you have one chance. You have 10 minutes, and 10 minutes only. And if you play 1 minute over, I'll pull the plug." And we're just like done. So like Garrick freaking takes my dad's construction helmet, makes a mohawk out of it. You know, he's wearing the mohawk on the construction helmet because we're like, dude, we're gonna capture something, right? This is
Absolutely.
before YouTube. This is before anything. We're like, this is our chance. Like, we are going to do our thing, right? We still got that helmet on a MXPX video. That's another story because this happened after another cool story. But so he's got that. I grabbed my mom's lampshade from the 70s with the little balls hanging around it
Sure. Yeah.
on the head, dude. I can't find the picture anymore. It's so epic. And as kids, we're talking 15, and I was 15. I think Garrick's still 14, or we're not very far apart. We're 15, 16, or 14, 15. And at that time, our family, everyone's just like, our friends, they're all like, "Dude, this is happening. Like, this
Yeah.
is happening." And we get there, and I don't even remember what happened. I just know we came up there and just threw down. Like we were ready then. Like we
Yeah.
had been doing our thing. Guitar Hero, we had leveled up, right?
Sure.
Like this is a level up moment. And so we're doing our thing. I think we pushed it a little bit. We went to 13 or 15 minutes, but we were holding down. We're the opening act, and Showcase Theater is packed, and the line is out the back all the way around. Sweat drips from the roof. Anyone from the showcase will tell you. Like sweat starts dripping from the ceiling from all the moisture and the people in there.
Sure.
Totally against the rules. We get shut down now. You know, back in the days, everybody's in there. We're doing our thing. We throw down a set, and I guess in that time, Ian from Homegrown, he's the lead guitar player from a band called Homegrown, also moving and shaking in Orange County. He had come in to see the opening act, just kind of check out the vibe. You know, none of the bands are coming in to watch us. You know, they're all in the
Sure.
back, out in the alleyway, like, who the hell are these guys? I think Ian said he heard us from outside and was curious. Says he comes in, sees these little kids just tearing it up, sounding like No Effects and, you know, all the good stuff that they're all into, and like Blink and whatever,
Hmm.
and like Homegrown and but many others. And he goes and grabs Brian Valdez. Brian Valdez is their manager. He's basically the booking agent. Bill Fold from Coachella basically gave him the opportunity to like be the Orange County punk rock concert promoter. Like anyone that's watching this, will validate in the comments, like Brian Valdez was, dude, you're with him. You are now going to be put on stage with the legit bands that are throwing this down in the SoCal punk rock scene.
Yeah, that's so cool.
He comes in. I mean, literally, it's like a fairy tale story. Like, sees us. We get off stage. We're trying to get through the crowd. We're just like little kids. I got my lampshade still on my head. Like we're like getting our stuff. We're going out the back. There's this little back hallway past security, and we get out there, and the Brian Valdez there shake our hand and just like, hey, like, you guys are amazing, all the stuff, like, how old are you guys? It's just like those movies, like, how old are you? Like
Right.
School of Rock, remember? Like,
For sure, yeah.
13, like all that whole scene. Like, I tell my kids when we watch that, when they watch it, there's like, dude, that literally happened to us. Like,
That was you,
it happened
yeah.
over and over.
Yeah.
But that was the time. And, I still give props to Ian for calling us out or calling him in and checking us out. And Brian took us under his wing, met with Uncle Randy. That was our only like supervisor. We had one supervisor that was our drummer's uncle that was recording us, and he's all pumped for us. So he kind of just gave him the handshake and yeah, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on you, but I believe this is a good opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So we get pulled from Temecula, California to Orange County. Orange County basically adopts us. We're now the little brothers of Homegrown, and hopefully you guys at Homegrown are watching because we'd like to come back and start playing with you guys again. And like we're basically, if Homegrown's playing, Wisecrack's right under them, and you see it on the flyers and stuff that we have on our
Sure.
Instagram. But now we're the little brothers. Our first trip, we get taken with them to Arizona State University. Again, no parental supervision. We're with these older guys that are like
Yeah.
Blink, and Blink's like raw, like like their humor.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like they're a little bit rated X.
Yeah.
In the way they think. Like, we're little kids, and we're now on a bus headed to this another movie scene. Looks like a scene from one of those 90s. I can't remember all the movies, the names of them, like American Pie
Sure.
type situation. And our first gig with them, we're like rocking out, kids jumping in the pool, cakes floating in the pool, all the things you see at college, right?
Sure.
At that point, like, and I know, like, I'll just keep on telling you the stories, but like, I'm like, whoa. But one thing I wanted to go back to, at that Blink concert, we get done with Valdez. Now we're like, a Homegrown, all that. We basically get adopted. We go upstairs. There's this little room to the back right if you're on stage. It's like basically like the VIP spot, so you can kind of get away from all the ruckus downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And we get called up there by MXPX, Mike Carrera. If he ever sees this, Mike, hook it up. And
Yeah.
Tom, there's a picture on our Instagram. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have seen it. I did look at that.
Garrett and I
Yeah.
are showing off our muscles on there. And, we're up there, and the guy from Tooth and Nail, the owner, I forget his name now, Tooth and Nail Records, like, hey, dude, you guys, obviously the whole thing, you guys kick ass. Like, that was amazing. Like, good job, whatever. And we're just, again, young kids, just like, cool, this is awesome. Hits us up and says, where we could throw a party? We're trying to film a video for our new song, Teenage Politics. I mean, that's like their first hit song.
Yeah.
MXPX. And we're like, hell yeah, dude, that's all we do is like we throw parties in the dirt back in Temecula. Thank God, Dylan Patton, his parents, his dad's from the music industry. His entire house, you'll see it in the video, Teenage Politics. You see that house, checkered floors. It's all like rockabilly. The bedroom is perfect. I mean, you couldn't make a better scene for a music video.
Sure.
And we bring him down. Dylan, the guy that got us there, he's like, dude, for sure. So now he's booking music videos with the owner of Tooth and Nail Records and MXPX. We're down now at his house. We're filming it. You'll see me running through the house, tearing up pictures. I got Garrick's Mohawk helmet on.
I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
Video yet on our
I
Instagram
have from
or somewhere. Mm-hmm. And you see, I think it's me or Randy jumping around at the end. I think it's Randy, but like you see the mosh pit. You see everything. That was the Temecula punk rock scene. That was our SoCal punk rock scene. Like,
sure.
We literally played like house parties where houses were being destroyed, like just going off. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just the most epic scene. If we had the phones and the cameras then, it would just, you wouldn't be able to match what we saw, what we got to envision. And so, like all those things happened all in that one. We worked for it, we worked towards it, but then that was the beginning. Like that was it. Like at that point, I mean, the doors started opening. We get on a compilation. I mean, on the Duran Duran compilation. I don't know if you've heard it. Mojo Records. They then turned into Drive Through Records.
Oh, okay.
That was gonna be Richard and Stephanie, his brother and sister. Again, like those guys are watching. Been trying to reach out. We're back. We're not going anywhere. But we get placed on their tribute album for Duran Duran. It's a Duran Duran punk rock tribute album. The first song is Goldfinger. Jimmy Eat World's on it. We're right before or after Deftones, River Phoenix, Homegrown. I mean, an epic. That's like, in my opinion, that's our stamp for. Were we really doing what I'm talking about right now? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like that new band, Paradox Band, I'm watching them. Like I've been watching them like make their way through. I don't know if you've seen them, but
No.
they're really starting to break through. Travis Barker just adopted them.
Okay.
You know, uh, totally the opposite of what like you would expect. Like, not trying to be like, this isn't a racist thing. They're black dudes. They call themselves Black 182.
Okay. Oh,
They
you know what?
sound-
I have seen their clips on Instagram. They're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. And I've been
They're really
watching
good.
the way they've been getting adopted. And I've commented a couple of times. I'm like, it literally, like, the dude has my strap on, the rainbow strap. Like,
Yeah.
I had a rainbow strap back in the 90s. And, like, I think I just found it at a thrift store or something. And I just
Sure.
put it on, like, whatever. But, like, I just, like, I told him, I said, I see exactly what was happening for us, happening for this band. Even Valdez, he's the one that brought him up to me. He's like, bro, I found like Joel Miller. The guy's black, but it's Joel Miller. Like, he looks just like, the way that he put on his show and stuff. And like, so all I'm saying is like, I see it happening again. I saw it happen again. And that all of that happened for Wisecrack. All of it. And, we just, we had so many like strong indicators on where we were headed. Lauren Israel, manager of Jimmy Eat World, flat out told, we did a showcase for him. He flat out told me right then and there, there's going to be two bands that take over the world before 2000. It's going to be Wisecrack and Jimmy Eat World. Or Jimmy Eat World, that was number one. He was managing them. And Wisecrack.
Wow.
Lauren.
Good company to be in.
You're watching, Lauren, like, I don't forget those because those are like my memories of like, I know that I'm not chasing a dream. We already had the dream. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like Garrick had write some songs, and of course I'm gonna let Garrick throw down too. I don't know if I'm, I know that I'm just like throwing in lots of information and just trying to give it. I put it down kind of. I tried to put it on paper for you.
Yeah.
But so many levels. I mean, at that point, Lauren was taking us to Capitol Records. I mean, we were getting record deals thrown at us. Like, we were looking at literal deals, and I was getting back to like Drive Through Records. Like, we were going to be their first band that they signed.
Wow.
And bands after us that came from Temecula literally told me, like, I mean, we're all friends, and we all were friends as kids growing up. When Wisecrack ended, we went straight to Richard and Stephanie. We went straight to Drive Through Records. They said, we're from Temecula too. We're going to take on where Wisecrack left off.
Sure.
We won't left on. Well, Finch became a Drive Through Records, band, and like, you guys are welcome. Like, we literally, we were just paving the way, not knowing what we were doing or why, or like we knew what we wanted, but again, we were just like, we were in it, like, and we just, we were, there was no stopping the momentum on that
Yeah.
whole scene. It was just a beautiful time, and I'm probably leaving out a lot of details, and maybe Garrett can throw some stuff in there if you like, but like for me, that's kind of like how things went off. And there was also a really epic concert we could talk about too that happened that still till this day is talked about out here, where
Sure.
Blink showed up and helped one of our good friends that ended up dying from cancer at 16.
Oh,
At
wow.
this time now, we're really, we've got a volume. I didn't even come back to school. Like, I left 10th grade. I literally didn't come back. My first day back at school was when we came back with Blink 182, Donuts and Glory, Homegrown, Pivot, Union, Epitaph Records. Again, Dylan Patton, I'm gonna always give him credit, making the phone calls. We had tried to do a couple tributes for Adam. We did one with MXPX out in San Bernardino. There's a newspaper article I posted about that. But we had some pull now. We actually had some credit, some street credit, and they all came together and put on the most epic high school dream come true. You're a senior, Garrick's a junior. You know, we're coming to our hometown. We've been out there working in LA and Orange County and going on these cool little road trips and just doing our thing. And to come back and to see all your friends and everybody's there because Adam Mejia, that was his name, was so loved in the community, just a beautiful soul. And he was literally like, I think he died like a month or two later. Like,
Man,
it was, but Blink came through and I still give them props, for doing that. And there's friends of ours and mine that still tell me till today, like that was for them the moment like they decided they wanted to be in a punk rock band or they wanted to be a musician. They saw something like we all saw it. We were just a piece of the whole party there. Like, like it wasn't about Wisecrack at that point, but it was awesome that we were able to come back and, bring that type of like I watched that video. I haven't released it yet, but we just digitalized it and to watch it from start to finish, all the kids, there's some clips on our Instagram, all of our friends, the fans. I mean, Blink literally, again, you're welcome. Like for our world, like that was when they were releasing their new songs, this is growing up and like guarantee that show Temecula adopted Blink for the rest of their life, not just because of the cool music, but because of what they did for, our friend
definitely.
to show up free of charge. And they didn't have to do that. And that was a huge moment, so.
For sure. And I feel like, man, 30 years is just a long time to just, I'm sure you have stories for days and days. And I think that's what really draws me to the whole punk rock scene and the punk rock community is like that attitude, but it's just like that community. And it just sounds like you had a group of good dudes around you. They really pulled through for everybody. I'm kind of curious, like with your whole time being together, like what does your songwriting process look like? Like what inspires you to write music? Do you have a process? Do you just kind of wing it sometimes? Like what is really your bread and butter to what you've been writing?
I'm gonna let Garrett take over that because there's a lot that has gone on in those years, and there's been so many stories and things that we've gone through. A lot of personal issues just in our own struggle in life, whatever. But I mean, Garrett, like I'll let you handle that. Like he's been a core songwriter, so
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the question now?
Like what's your songwriting process look like? What do you draw from? What inspires you? Do you have like a process? Like do you start with lyrics? Do you start with a guitar riff? Like what's your process like?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just talk about these days. I usually, I mean, it depends. It varies. I don't really pull from. When I was a kid, I would pull from. At least I think I would bands that I loved and influenced me, and I think I kind of just adopted that style in one way or another. These days, it just comes from a special place within. It could be anything from waking up in the middle of the night, and just having something in my head and having to get up and go find the chords and record the melody a little bit so I can go back to it in the morning and
Sure.
nitpick it and piece it together. I usually just start with some catchy chords, start putting some progressions together, humming some melodies, putting some lyrics together, and yeah, and I mean sometimes I'll be like, I could take a song, I could write one song for the rest of my life. You know, I'm always saying I could write just that one song and nitpick it and detail it and put shiny little things all over it and make it, you know, go up and down and all over the place. But there's just a pocket that you find where you're like, okay, that's it right there, and that's that's our baby. We're gonna let this one go. We're gonna keep it like this, and that's it. And we gotta move on because right now, I don't know. For me, the creativity is just overflowing.
Sure.
So I got things just on, just you know, waiting to get recorded, and it's just yeah, I just lay down the pieces and then just put it together, man. You know, we come in here and sometimes it's not even complete, and I'll be like, all right, let's lay this down, and I need to find something to put here. Or do you guys hear something? Let's find something to put here. Let's try this. Let's try that. And we'll get in the mic booth, and you know, a lot of it just comes while in the studio. You know, we'll do some oohs and ahs, some harmonies. Be like, Joe, just have at it, dude. Whatever you're feeling. You know, because everyone is talented in their own right, and so yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm kind of wandering off a little bit, and now I feel like I've wandered a little too far one way, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's that's the process, you know, for when he brings it. I have a son now. I mean, I've got some kids, and obviously we're a little bit older now. But his name's Tim. He goes by the name Relly, and he's been writing a lot and producing, you know, hip hop guys and electronic house and a lot of stuff that the kids were digging, you know, and still do. He's very good at it. But I kept telling him, I said, man, you gotta come in and help Garrick and I. We need that engineer that's gonna just know that we need to lay it down. You know,
Mhm.
Garrick shows up with full songs again, just like when we were first meeting. Almost most of the time, rhythm tracks, lead track, alternative lead tracks, verses, you know, background vocals, like all of it. So it's just like it's for someone that's producing. Because honestly, like at this point, like I consider myself like the executive producer of bringing the Krack back. Right,
Sure.
I have the studio. Like I've had this dream for a long time. I've been hitting Garrick up, and friends have hit me up saying, "Hey, when are you guys gonna do this again? You got to do it." In about 2023, I just said, "I'm doing it with or without anyone. I'm going." And so I hit Garrick, hey, can you throw down some vocals? Can you do this and that? And, you know, all of a sudden it started coming together because he's hearing us like piece this stuff together, actually make real good demos. And
Sure.
so that process just started turning into an every Sunday thing, almost like, hey, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Before you know it, I mean, we're literally sitting on top. I would say 2 albums right now, like, and more of music and getting it tracked. And, you know, it's expensive. Even if you're doing it for free, you're bypassing work or, you know, you're getting away from your family and we're literally getting songs done besides the final mix and mastered on a
Sure.
Sunday, like literally on a Sunday, leaving here so pumped.
House? No, this is some random guy's house. Yeah, we're just gonna break into some random guy's house.
Our process is solid right now. We've got a team. I would say Garrick, myself, Relly. And then once we're done with that, we bring it to our brothers, the Rodriguez brothers, Julian Rodriguez, Nick Rodriguez. They're twin brothers. Nick was the bass player that we brought into our band when we really started moving into that more, you know, like solid, successful mode where we needed to have quality bass player
For sure.
and other Jules. They're very good. They're very well known. Like they come from the jazz world and they're insane. They're just insane. You've listened to some of our new tracks and stuff. I'm sure you're hearing some quality
Mhm.
in there, and they're producers in their own self. And their little brother Matt Rodriguez, he's on guitar helping us, and now we can bring it and make it as big and as quality sounding as anybody. I don't care who it is. Not trying to knock them, but as good as Green Day, Blink, and anybody else out there, we have now our whole team, and we've aged like very well, like wine, to where we're doing this stuff remotely. Like we'll get our core scratch tracks done here. I'm sending it off to Nick in Costa Mesa. He's throwing down bass. He starts mixing. I'm sending it to to Jules at his house. He's recording drums, tracking, like sends over the drum tracks. We're sending it off to Wesley Seidman. Now he's on our team. People can look him up. He's a veteran, a legend in itself. He's sending it off to Howie Weinberg. Howie Weinberg, again, you could check into him, mix or master almost anyone and everyone that we've ever listened to or loved. And like we're all doing that now. It's all happening right here, and we don't even have a record label.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
we just have, it's just our crew, some very good friends and people that have known us for a long time that love it and they want to help. We keep getting the same response. I want to help you guys.
Yeah.
I believe in this so much. The world, I keep hearing it from multiple people, and they don't even talk to each other. They're all just in my circle, but it's not like we're all getting together at a Starbucks and, being like, how awesome are we? I just get it over and over. Like the world needs this music, man. We're so happy to hear this style. The way you guys do it is special, and they want to help. And it's been a real blessing. And that's our process right now for trying to finish this album.
It's great to have those people in your corner, and I feel like you're really just utilizing technology now in your favor that maybe you didn't have in the 90s, because now that you can send tracks back and forth, you can be in different places. You don't have to always just be cramming it out in the studio. I do have a couple of more questions for you that I think that are kind of fitting just with how long that you've been doing this. First one is, from where you started in the 90s to what does it now, like we said before, like the term punk rocker, or having that punk rock attitude, what does it mean to you now as you're a little bit older now, what versus what it meant to you back when you first started as teenagers?
Go ahead.
You mean, what does it mean to me to like still be in like a punk rock scene, or like doing like a punk rock sound?
Yeah, I mean, like, back as angsty teenagers doing punk rock music, now as adults with families and stuff, like what does it mean to you now?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I never wanted to let the dream die. I have friends tell me like, dude, you gotta let go, man. Like, it's over. That was then. This is now.
Sure.
I literally started punk. I've started other bands, and I always felt like, okay, some of them were very good, and some were just like tribute bands or whatever. But I met a lot of people that, when we start talking the story that I've told you, everybody knows somebody, and they start, whoa, that was legit, right? And so I'd have some people tell me, oh, you should try it again. But I did. I was starting like a punk rock festival in 2011 called Punk Palooza. Nobody wanted to be a part of it. I was making the phone calls. Blink, literally, Mark Hoppus is doing like shows by himself to tracks because Tom's over there with Angels and Airwaves, right?
Right.
Like we were dead. It was the Great Depression for punk rock music
Yeah.
and pop punk. Nobody wanted to hear anything. I'm still writing. Garrick's still writing. We're still like, that's who we are. We never stopped, right? So for me, I'm like, when I started seeing the flyers come out, and I was like, honestly, I was like, dude, why aren't we getting the phone call? Like, I see the When They Were Young concert, all those bands I told you we were on the compilation with. The bands now, like, it's growing. Like the Warp Tour's back. The scene is going to be stronger than it ever was back then, because now we've got social media, we've got kids with phones, we've got kids that have parents like us that now are listening to their parents' music.
Yeah.
But not only that, they get to see it on TikTok and Instagram and all of these clips of insane crowds just going off for bands that never could get a crowd like that back then. But now it's like the world has come together for this sound. I think that everybody is so happy to see a live show again. I know that our souls are not receiving AI music. So when they hear like a good song, like when they hear Garrick on an acoustic just throwing down one of his jams, or our band throwing down, like right away their ears are in tune with it. So for me, it's like, I'm not. I still like. I feel like I never left it. I was just waiting for everyone to jump back in the party.
Sure.
Only now the party's out there and like the doors kind of shut on us, and it makes me laugh. And I know Garrick and I were both like, especially with some of these local bands, and I've mentioned some of them, I laugh because like ignoring us just gives me even more motivation. Like we're motivated. Like I feel like like when Rocky Balboa comes back, right? And
For
he's just
sure.
like out in the snow and he's just running and like we're just preparing. We know like deep down in our souls, like we know that where we were headed, but we're not even worried about that anymore. We know what we have now to offer. And for me, it means even more
Mhm.
because I feel, and I said this to Garrett, and Garrett would tell me, "Nah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just not feeling it right now." But I just kept saying it, and again, I've had friends tell me this. JD Denham, a good friend of ours, just texted me when he saw Garrett's video of him playing "Believe Again," and he's like, "Dude," he put it on Instagram. He's like, "You guys have an obligation to the world to share your music."
Mhm.
And I think, oh, he said, "You're doing a disservice to the world by holding it in."
Dang.
And I said, that's exactly how I felt for so long. I don't think, or actually, yeah, I will say, it. I think we are the best. I feel in my heart, what we're doing, I feel we're the best in this scene. Like we literally can take over the world if the gatekeepers would allow it.
For sure.
But I'm not like sitting there saying, "Oh, we're like I can't really do anything else except for agree and say I know we have something that's so good to give to your ears." And it's not one hit wonders, it's not two hit wonders. Like literally, we don't let a song leave the studio unless we're absolutely confident that it can hit the radio, it can capture an audience, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And so for me, it means a lot right now. That's for me. Like it means a lot now because we are older. Like you get older, you're just like, oh, is this little kid music? No, this is our music. The little kids still like it, but
Mhm.
this is our music. Just like Creedence or the Beatles or whoever else, Ozzy
Right.
Osbourne. They were playing this since they were young. Ozzy just played his last show in a freaking wheelchair,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I refuse to say or to myself or let someone else say, oh, you're just, and I've had it told to me, why are you going after that little kid bubble gum pop? I'm like, you haven't heard what we're bringing to the table.
Right.
Yeah, we're from the pop punk scene, but I just know the world is ready to start receiving that new handful of those legendary bands that you will listen to their music till the day you die. Like there will be a song that takes you through life, that carries you.
Mhm.
And we have multiple friends and fans that say, dude, you carried us. Like that stuff carried me. Please
Yeah.
do more of it. Like I've grown men calling me. They're grown men now, but they're still young 14-year-old punks inside telling me like the song Garrick just put out or whatever we did brought them to tears.
That's awesome.
And
That's gotta be a good feeling.
yeah, so it's like that's why for me, I guess the answer to the question, I know it's long winded, but it means more to me now because I feel like we've held on to a treasure long enough. And Garrick's been saying it a lot lately. He's not writing this stuff because he wants to really. It's like it's mandatory.
Sure.
He has to throw it down.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my answer to that.
That's great. And sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just finishing up there.
I was just gonna say, like, I think you're both of you are just so spot on because, like, even when I was in high school, when it's like the 2000s, and there's kids walking around with like Kiss T-shirts on or the Doors or whatever it is, it's like, well, you weren't alive during that era. You got into that music because of your parents. So what you're saying, I feel, is so spot on. These kids are coming full circle because the teeny boppers or the punk rockers that were listening to NoFX or Rancid or Blink 182, whatever, like they're introducing their kids to it. So there's this new generation of kids out there that are appreciating this. And I think that's great. I see the resurgence. And I think what you said is definitely spot on. I feel like what you guys are working on is really the calm before the storm and just going to bust out. It's going to explode. And you're going to just let the whole world hear what you've been writing, and I think that's awesome. I can't wait to hear more.
Yeah, and we're working as hard as we can to get it out. It does cost money, no matter what. Even if people help, even the little chips here and there,
Sure.
So we're hoping to get some support here sooner or later. We've had believers before drop a good amount of funds into the project, and you know, hey, we're gonna keep going whether we have help or not.
Hey,
You
I
know,
like it.
everything you've heard so far is all self-funded, um, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm proud of Garrick too. Like, you know, he's come a long way, and you know, it's like he never left off. You know, because there's been a good amount of dead time for both of us. But we get on stage or we get on guitar, we get in this booth, and we start tracking, and it's like I get so excited. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, is this really happening? Some of the tracks we've done, I'm like, dude, is someone like just hitting like autoplay or like some AI button or something, the easy button, like,
Yeah,
because it's starting to come, or like, it's always come easy to us, but now it's like really like, whoa, like quality is pumping out of this place. So
definitely.
yeah,
Well, I'm excited to hear more of what you're working on and play it. I'll spin it whenever the chance I can. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time during your busy Sunday when you could be writing, you could be recording. Thanks for taking the time to sit with me. I will leave it with one last thing. Is there anything else you want the audience to know? If it's like anything up and coming that you want them to keep their eyes and ears on, anything we should watch for, any advice you want to give, have at it. Then we can sign off.
Garrett?
Just look out for the Krack from Temecula. Look for our music, listen to it, because this stuff is special, and that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and all I can say is like they all say, like and subscribe, help us
Yeah,
out. You know, we
absolutely.
need the shares. We need people to just. We always say if we could have like the phone calls we have, and I'm talking with like about legit dudes. Like I mentioned one, like Brian Valdez, or like, you know, these different people that are poured into our life, and now are pouring again. Like they met us when we were 14, and they're pouring it again with their wealth of knowledge and their connections and this and that. And Garrick and I keep saying it's like, dude, if we had like 100 or 1,000 people like you that thought like you, or even like you, Bill, that reached out and said, dude, I like what I heard. You know, like, would you like to come on our show? Like, uh, we really value that, and I'm happy for every like. And you know, we're still at the bottom of the social media world. Like, that's kind of like a mountain in its own self.
Yeah, it
You
really
know,
is. Yeah.
and so like every time someone likes us or shares us or just reaches out, like we have a band that hit us up, hey, would you like to open for us? We think you're sick. Like we just we really could use that support. And yeah, like Eric said, just keep an eye on us because we got a lot of stuff cooking. That's just the album, in my opinion, is gonna be like one of the best albums you've ever heard.
I love it.
There's
I love it.
stories there, and the story is amazing. And anyone that does know us or learns about us, they're not just gonna hear a song and oh that was cute or this and that. Like most people start digging, like, dude, what are these guys talking about? Like,
For
how'd
sure.
they even go there? You
For
know?
sure. I love
And
it.
it's all hooks. You know, you'll be singing along, like definitely.
Hey, I'm a sucker for it, so I can't wait to hear more. And you know what? When it drops, we'll do another session like this, and we can talk more about that.
Yeah, for sure. We got some
So,
stuff coming, so I'll be sharing that with you.
absolutely, please do. Well, guys, it was my pleasure to sit down and talk with you. Thank you for taking the time, and until next time, we'll keep at it.
All right, Bill. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.